This is Brand Impact 365 with LaMorvielle.
I want to talk to you today about the way you think, the way you think about things, the way you think about things that you need to do, right? If usually when we have something important that we need to do or something that, you know, it's something that needs to get done, but for whatever reason, you take your own sweet time trying to even get to that thing. So let me give you an example. So I sell on platforms like Poshmark and whatnot. And I sell jewelry, I sell clothes, I sell all different types of things. The one thing that I do not like to do myself, that just whenever it's time for me to do it, I tend to drag my feet on. It's listing the items. It's actually taking the pictures of the items, listing them on my stores with the descriptions and everything. If I've got 50 items that I need to list, like take pictures of and list on my store, I tend to drag my feet because it just seems to me like that's not a very fun thing for me to do. I just don't like doing it. Even though that I know once I list these items, once I do these things, the chances of me making a sale go up because you can't make a sale on an item that's not for sale, right? If you go into Target and you want to go purchase a t-shirt, but they don't have the t-shirt in the store, how would you buy it, right? You can't buy it if it's not available to buy. So, from that perspective, that's usually what I try to motivate myself to list these items, because I know in the long run, once they're listed, there's a chance that they can get sold. And then it was a good thing that I listed these items, right? But even sometimes knowing that, okay, in order for me to make the sale, I have to list. Sometimes I just feel like I don't want to do it. I don't like doing it. I don't want to do it. So what ends up happening, right? Even though I know I got to do it and I want it and it needs to get done and I know it's on my list of things to do. What do? I also put on my list of things to do everything else that I could possibly think of so that I don't do what I need to do right away, right? I will put on the list, I've got to wash the dishes, I've got to print out flyers, I've got to all these things that can wait, right? These are all things that can wait. But but for some reason it's like I'll do that first. I'm gonna print out these flyers first. Then I'm gonna wash the dishes. Then I need to make sure that I buy some more Sharpie pens and some highlighters. Then I'm gonna make sure that I cut out these little coupon codes that I need to pass out to my customers. I am trying to find every and anything I could possibly think of that I can do so that I don't need or that I don't have to list today. And what I found, though, when you think from a procrastination perspective, what ends up happening, you stretch out time so long. Something that if you really just tackle it and get it done, something that might take you a half an hour, maybe an hour, maybe it might even take you just 10 minutes, whatever it is, however long it would take you, something that would take you a shorter time to do, because you've decided to stretch it out and drag it out, it's now taking you days, weeks, months, even years. Another example that I have, again, I don't like listing. I told you that. Not my favorite thing. I bought some new inventory. It was like denim jeans jackets, t-shirts. These are all brand new boutique items. And I probably bought $1,000 worth of just clothes and inventory and just all like women's clothing. I got them all. I was so excited, like, oh, I can't wait to put them in the store. Or I know all these people are gonna want it. Oh, this is gonna be good. And instead of listing these items, I folded them up and I put them in a little tote bin, little container bin. And I I said, I'm going to list these tomorrow. I'm going to list them tomorrow because today was such a long day. I went out and I bought all the inventory. So tomorrow I'll start fresh and we'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow came and I start to think like, okay, well, before I list these items, you know what? I think I'm going to make sure that I'm going to reorganize my Poshmark closet. Which on Poshmark, if you're familiar with Poshmark, that just means I'm just putting all the items in a particular order, or I'm relisting these items so that people can find them easier. So I start doing that, and I still have these items, these new boutique items. I still have these new boutique items. They are in a tub, waiting to be listed. And then another day goes by, and then another day goes by. Till one day I decide, I'm tired of looking at this tub in my office, so I'm going to put this in the basement for now. And then when I have time, I'll go back down in the basement and I'll list them. You guys, don't you know that that tub, that bin, stayed in the basement for 2 years? Almost 2 years. Not a full 2 years, but almost 2 years. Because it was out of sight, out of mind. I wasn't thinking about it every day. I didn't see it every day, so I wasn't thinking about it every day. I didn't remember to list them. All because I procrastinated the first couple days of getting the inventory. I went in the basement last week and I saw the tub, the tote, or not last week, it was actually last month. And I saw the tote sitting in the basement, and I said, wow, I can't believe I still have these. I forgot all about them. I brought them up upstairs, put them back in my office. After I brought them up from the basement, I decided then and there that I wasn't going to procrastinate. And I'd made a plan. I decided that instead of looking at it as one big chunk, one big project, I decided to break it down into little itty bitty projects, right? So I had jeans pants, I had jeans jackets, I had t-shirts, I had sweatpants, I had athletic wear. I decided to take each piece and list in little groups. So I took all the denim jeans jackets and listed those today, or listed them in a day. Then the next day I went and I took pictures of all the pants and I listed those. Then the next day I went and I took pictures of all the sweatpants and I listed all those. What I'm trying to say, or from the example that I'm giving you, when you find yourself procrastinating on something that just feels like I don't feel like doing it, what ends up helping me is I take them into little chunks, little projects. When you think of things as a whole, when you look at everything as a whole, as far as I've got this huge project, I have to list 500 items. It tends to feel a little overwhelming. It feels like I really don't want to do it. I'll wait till I have some more time, or I'll do this another day. But then, from the perspective of procrastination, that usually tends to be never. you usually end up never doing the thing that you want to do, because in your mind it's like, I really don't feel like doing it, so I'm just gonna wait and wait and wait till hopefully it goes away, which it's not going to, or it's gonna bother you enough that you have to get it done, and by that time you're frustrated, you still don't want to do it, but you got to do it now because you waited to the last minute, right? So what I've learned, or what I want to suggest to you, is if you ever find yourself procrastinating on a goal or something that you want to get done, take it in little projects. Break it down. Try not to tackle it as a whole, right? Try to think about it like a donut, right? I don't know why this came to my mind, but think about a donut, right? When you go to eat a donut, do you tackle the whole donut and just put the whole thing in your mouth? I mean, maybe there's somebody out there that does that, but do you do that? Can you put a whole donut in your mouth and say, I love donuts and I just want to tackle the whole thing? Or usually when you have a donut, what do? You got to break it off. You got to take little bites, right? You can't eat a whole donut in one bite, right? You got to take little bites, little pieces. Same thing when it comes to your projects. You can't tackle the whole thing in once because sometimes it just feels too overwhelming. So instead of tackling it as one big project, think of it as take little bites, right? Break it down into little projects, smaller projects, so that way you can accomplish them and feel like you. When you break it down into smaller projects, you tend to feel like you feel more accomplished because now you, instead of accomplishing one big goal, you end up accomplishing many little goals. And each time you accomplish a little goal or a little task and you check it off, or you know that you completed it, it just feels so good. It almost gives you like a motivation that you want to do more, right? You almost feel motivated, like, oh, I just did that, I think I'm going to do some more. So again, if you ever feel like you find yourself procrastinating, or you just find yourself feeling like, I'm not feeling it today, I don't want to do it, try to think from the mindset, or try to think about whatever is overwhelming you or frustrating you. Break it down. Break it down into little goals, into little projects, and make it work for you instead of you working for it, right? When you think of a whole project in a large capacity, like, oh my gosh, I got to do all this stuff, you feel like you got to do some work. You got to work to do something that you don't want to do, versus if you break them down into little projects, you're going to make that work for you. When you break them down into smaller projects, it doesn't feel like a big goal or a big task. So it works for you. It works in your favor. It just feels easier. It feels like, oh, that's it? I did that. I guess I could, I think I can do something else. I think I can do this too. Right? So I just wanted to remind you that, friend, if you ever feel like you just having a bad day where you just don't feel like doing anything, or you know you're procrastinating, but you don't know how to get out of that procrastinating mode, that's my suggestion to you. That's what I'm learning to do. Is just take little projects one slow step at a time. My last example would be this podcast, this vlog that I'm doing. In my mind, it was this big project. I got to set the camera up. I got to get the lighting right. I've got to make sure that my microphone is this, and my background looks like this. And I'm thinking so much about all the stuff that needs to be done that it felt overwhelming, and I almost didn't know how to start or where to begin. But by just breaking it down and just thinking to myself, you know what, all I got to do is let's just record. Let's just hit the button and see what happens. I'm doing it now, right? If I was to think about it as a whole, I've got to do this, I 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 might not have started yet. You guys wouldn't be listening to this right now. You wouldn't be hearing me talking to you right now. So again, just keep that in mind, friend. Just take it in the little steps, little baby steps. And then each little baby step you take is going to get you there. Okay. And you'll feel good about it once you do get there. I promise you that. All right, friend. Thank you so much for tuning in again. If you are on YouTube, you can like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're watching or listening on another platform, as far as on a podcast platform, thank you, friend, for tuning in. Make sure to share. Okay. That's all I have for you. Thank you again for being here and for tuning in. Till next time. Later, Gator.
Thanks for watching. If you are interested in having an interview or sponsoring the show, then check the description below. If you enjoyed this episode, then like and subscribe to support Brand Impact 365 with LaMorvielle. And if you are struggling with your brand impact, then watch the next video.